Imagine waking up from a near-death accident with a message from Jesus himself. This is the tale of Landon Whitley, a young boy who survived a fatal accident only to come back with a deep mission. What did he experience on the other side? Who did he encounter? Join us as we delve into Landon's remarkable journey beyond the veil of death and the amazing revelations he brought back. It was a typical Sunday afternoon, October 19, 1997, when the Whitley family was traveling home from church in their Pontiac Sunfire. Landon, a young boy, was riding in the back while his parents, Julie and Andy, were in the front. It was a day like any other until tragedy hit. As they drove through an intersection, Julie recalls her husband suddenly yelling, but in the commotion, his words were forgotten. In a split second, everything was different. An ambulance racing through the intersection ran into their car. The collision was devastating. The accident left Landon's parents seriously hurt. Andy sadly did not make it, and Julie was left to endure the pain of losing her husband. I didn't see what he was yelling about. I didn't see the ambulance approaching, but I did recall him yelling. That was the last thing I heard from him. For young Landon, things were even more serious. Following the crash, it took them a while to find him in the wreckage, and since they did, he wasn't breathing. Rescuers labored desperately to bring him back to life, but his situation was desperate. He was airlifted to a nearby hospital in a hurry. Landon's battle for survival was not yet over. On that day, he died twice, once at the accident site and once during the journey to the hospital. But it was only after his second death in the hospital that Landon had something truly extraordinary happen to him. At only 8 years old, Landon Whitley witnessed something remarkable during those times when his life was on the line. He recalls feeling like he was in heaven every time that he died. He talks about experiencing golden streets, meeting Jesus, angels, his dad, and even 2 relatives whom he had never met before. These dreams made a profound impact on him, giving rise to a sense of awe at life, death, and the hereafter. This sense of wonder remained with him throughout his years. Today, now an adult, Landon recalls those moments in awe. For him, the accident was not merely a tragedy. It was a glimpse of a much larger reality. It reassured his belief and made him peaceful, knowing there is more than what appears in life. As much as the doctor tried his best to rescue him, there seemed to be little hope of survival. They cautioned Julie, Landon's mother, that even if he survived, the injuries would be grave. They told me that if he made it, which didn't look like it, that he would still be like an 8-year-old child, Julie remembered. He would not be able to walk, speak, or even eat normally because of brain damage. But I was willing to accept that. He was all I had. Julie's devotion to her son never faltered. Despite such horrendous news, she was prepared to do whatever it would take to keep Landon alive, no matter if it meant keeping him alive in a critically compromised condition. During those black times, Julie's will was unbreakable. She was willing to battle for her son regardless of the obstacles that came her way. To her, having Landon around her life, whatever the conditions, was all that counted. As Landon battled for his life, Julie endured the harsh reality of leaving her husband behind. At his burial, she struggled with anger and bewilderment toward God. I was so angry, shattered, and sitting at the funeral, I was cursing God. I had no idea why this was happening, she said. I couldn't comprehend why he didn't provide us with protection through angels. But with the very same breath, she prayed more fervently than ever before for Landon to live. Although she may never know for certain why her husband died and why her son lived so miraculously, she holds fast to what she believes. That faith and love can get us through even the most difficult times. Having sustained a severe head wound and been kept alive by machines, Landon awoke 2 weeks after the accident. Julie credits her prayers. To everyone's surprise, physicians found that he had no brain damage whatsoever. While Julie celebrated her son's recovery, she also had to endure the agonizing process of informing him of his father's death. His face was scarred, his head wrapped in bandages, and I didn't want to hurt him anymore, she remembered. Julie had to reconcile her relief that Landon had survived unscathed of brain damage with the agony of informing him he had lost his father. In that trying moment, Julie's love and motherly strength stood out with empathy. She inquired of Landon, "Do you know where your dad is?" Landon answered, "Yes, I know where he is. I saw him in heaven." But Landon's encounters did not end there. He also informed his mother that he had noticed other familiar faces in heaven. Family members, friends who had died, and even brothers and sisters he never knew. He gazed at me and said, "Oh, Mom, by the way, I forgot to mention it. I saw your other 2 children. I was amazed because I had 2 miscarriages prior to Landon being born, and we never shared the information with him," Julie explained. "I knew they were my brothers even though nobody ever informed me about them," said Landon. "You just know in heaven. You know who everybody is." Landon had a different experience each time he met with death. With the 3rd time, he met Jesus and heard a message that changed his life. "Jesus appeared to me and instructed me that I have to return to earth, be a good Christian, and preach to people about him," Landon reported. "I wish for people to understand that Jesus exists. There is a heaven. There are angels. And to abide by his word and the Bible. Life does get better in the end." With that directive, Landon and his mother set about fulfilling their charge to share their experience, providing hope to the bereaved. Landon stressed that he was doing it for Jesus, assuring of the existence of Jesus, heaven, and angels. Having lived through seeing Jesus, he understood his purpose, and he was committed to achieving it. Looking back at the experience, Julie realized how her knowledge of faith had expanded. While she previously questioned why God did not send an angel to defend them, she now knows angels were there the entire time, directing them through God's will. Instead of being mired in loss or anger, Julie employs their experience to remind others to remain grounded in faith, even during times of loss. "It's a tremendous blessing that I get to see my child share with others about Jesus," she said. "He's always willing to remind people that heaven is real, because he's been there." Although Landon lived, he sustained severe injuries and now has 23 metal plates in his head, a nose rebuilt from part of his skull, and lost the use of one eye. He leads a largely normal life today. His survival is miraculous. Landon's tale is a testament to the strength of the human spirit. In spite of the tragedies he has suffered and the physical limitations he lives with, he still lives life to the fullest. His journey is one of courage, strength, and the strength of love to overcome even the most adverse situations. We feel that God is giving Christians everywhere a message regarding the coming of Jesus Christ. If you are serious about your faith, concentrate on living a righteous life. Spend some time praying for the lost souls and witnessing as often as possible. The Bible teaches us how to live and share the good news. It's all there. Thank you all for following us this long. We hope you enjoyed watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.